So the blood specimens we have in this bank, they've been collected because you approached your doctor, or you went to a hospital, or you were in a screening program and thereby had a blood specimen taken. So they are from all different kinds of sources. That's why we have a blood specimen on nearly everyone. Really what our dream is an information system whereby you can follow the individual from birth to grave with all this information without actually going out and contacting the individual. So in Denmark we have all these informations on our citizens from our national registries. So we know when you were born, how your birth went. We know what vaccines you were given when you were young, what medications you were taken. We know your lab results all over, through your life, nearly. We certainly know the diseases you have been diagnosed with. And we know how old you get. We even know what schooling you went to, what kindergartens you went to, what tax you pay, and many, many, many other things. Welcome to the Danish National Biobank.
Yeah, because there's a lot of information on them, so sometimes it gives you kind of an history of what the patient's been through. Like you can see what kind of disease or what the diagnosis was. And sometimes you can even see how many samples they've been taken. Some of them you can see that they had levels of some kind of illness in the blood, and it starts to rise and really suddenly it stops. So you sit with one of those kind of, you think, oh, that probably didn't end well. And sometimes you see the opposite. Well, it gets slower and lower, and then they just stop coming. And then it's like, okay, right, he probably made it. So, and besides, there's no names. Well, there is a name, but you hardly notice it on these samples. But there is on these ones, so it gets quite a bit more personal with these old cards, really.
So in the situation where we have an outbreak, we know that they have all bought their food from particular chains, food chains in Denmark, but we haven't been able to nail what the source of this outbreak is. In such circumstances, have we been able to collaborate with the food chains and be given access to their registration of what you buy and I buy on my credit card? We have given in particular persons that become sick credit card information so they could look up what these persons had bought of food items. And that way we have been able to document what the source of the outbreak was. I have to say that this biobank, the regulation of this biobank is such that it is only built for research purpose. That being said, there have been a very few instances in Denmark where the court has requested access to the biobank, but it has never been to trace a criminal. It has been on the victim's side, every case we have, in the sense that with the flooding in the Far East, say, where you only found an arm or a leg, and you were very sure that this was a Danish boy, and they knew the name of this boy, but they didn't know whether this was the boy. In that kind of instance, the court has given the police, you would say, access to get biospecimens to make sure that they could identify this body, this victim. So that's the way it has been looked at in Denmark, that in few instances the court has been given access. Everyone can actually go on the internet and look up www.nationalbiobank.dk, and they'll get into a homepage for the biobank, and there you can click on the biobank register. And if you do that, you can get into a search module where you can actually ask different questions. For instance, does this biobank contain 2,000 biospecimens on schizophrenia or AIDS or whatever you like? And in those categories, and you'll get it all, where the mom is born in Denmark and the father in Sweden. You can ask all those questions, but you will never get the person behind. You only get numbers. Okay. You certainly can study that phenomena through our registry system. If you study family structures, something about income, so groups of society, social class-wise, or where they live in Denmark, farmers versus citizens or clerks or whatever. You need a good hypothesis that it is possible.